Hello, my name is Kurt, and today I'll be talking about lucid dream triggers. Now, for those of you who don't know what lucid dream triggers are, they are pretty much signs or things that happen in your dreams that make something in your mind click and say, oh, this is a dream. And I've been watching a lot of videos and reading a lot of things, and there's this kind of misconception of common lucid dream triggers. There's categories of things that people tell you to look out for, but in my personal experience, and I'm going to get into that further in this video, is that a dream trigger could be anything. And it's such a personal thing that, expecting to see these common dream triggers in your dreams is kind of misleading. See, because the common lucid dream triggers are um, clocks, watches, time, whether it's digital or whatever, in general, is morphed or gibberish or somehow changed in your dream. The other one is you look at your hands and your hands are squiggly or they look different or they're morphed. Another one is you write something in your dream, or whether you're typing something in your dream and it comes out morphed or incomprehensible or just gibberish in general. And just basic visual cues I see are very, um, you know, common, I guess, in what people talk about as common lucid dream triggers. Now, I'm going to get into my personal experience. Me personally, watches, clocks, time, everything looks exactly the same in my dreams as it does in reality. So that really doesn't help, in my dreams. And I barely even see clocks or watches or time in my dreams to begin with. And the other one is the hands. So I barely look at my hands in my regular dreams. And it's kind of weird because, I play guitar and I write stuff and whatever, so technically I should be seeing my hands a lot in my dreams, but that's not the case. And if I do see my hands, they appear normal to me in my dream. Or maybe there's a slight difference, but my mind doesn't really catch it. And the other one, writing or typing in dreams or whatever, for as long as I can remember, my whole life, I am a writer, and I do write music, I write poetry, I type, I do all these things, but my whole life, I do not remember one single dream where I wrote anything or typed anything. Never. It's weird, but that's just, I guess my dreams are so strange that I don't experience common things in my dreams, but never remembered a dream where I wrote something at all. So, as you can see, those are the common lucid dream triggers, and that wouldn't help me in any way because those are not my lucid dream triggers. Because that's not what I experience in my dreams, and everybody's different, so I bet there's a lot of people that kind of could relate to stuff like this. So I'm going to get into my personal lucid dream triggers and how you can figure out your personal lucid dream triggers and, kind of get you thinking more and more about stuff like this. So my lucid dream triggers is smoking. Now, I don't smoke a lot in real life. I am an occasional smoker, whether it's herbs, not cannabis, but just regular stuff, whether it's lavender or Kalea Zakachichi or various other herbs that I enjoy using for relaxation purposes occasionally, or whether it's tobacco products and stuff like that. I do enjoy the occasional cigarette or pipe or what have you, but by no means am I a daily indulger in these sorts of things. So it's weird, but I kind of know how my brain works in this sort of way. So when I have a dream, because I get excited about these things in real life, so when it happens in a dream, I'm toking on a cigarette or whatever, and then I taste that flavor in my mouth or whatever, and then I'm like, wait a minute, you know, my brain gets kind of excited. I'm like, yes, nicotine rush. But I still experience that in my dream. But then I'm like, hey, wait a minute, something's off. You know, whether it's the taste, whether it's the whole act of it, whether the whole idea of just me randomly having, you know, a cigarette, for example, without having to light it or without having to ash it or without having to do anything, it just pops up, and I'm feeling all this stuff, and it kind of triggers something in my brain to say, hey, wait a minute, something's off here, you know. um, and that's when it clicks. Oh, okay, I'm dreaming. This has to be a dream because, you know, that's just how um, it works for me. But so look out for stuff like that. Whether it's, you know, whether it's alcohol or whatever. Sometimes specific intoxicants in your dreams can be a gateway into lucidity, because you're having a dream and all of a sudden you could be tripping on freaking LSD, or you know, you could, like me, like I said, you could be um, having a cigarette or whatever, or smoking a pipe or what have you, and then it's just so spontaneous that it kind of throws your mind off and makes you question things, because even in reality, you know, it's tricky. You know, you can't be like, oh, you know, randomly tripping out on stuff, you know. So in a dream, it makes you question. So that's one of my personal triggers. And another one is, I think this is a trigger for most people as well. I don't think it's stated as a common trigger, but sexual intercourse, whether it's with anybody pretty much in dreams, is strange. But especially if you're experiencing a dry spell in real life, you know, so you're dreaming about whether it's a celebrity or this and that, and then you're like, whoa, you know, like you kind of snap into this thing and you're like, wait a minute, like what exactly is going on here? Like I don't remember meeting this person or anything like that, and then it just like instant trigger, and it's like, okay, it's a dream, you know. So there you go. And I know that there's a lot of people that have sexually influenced, is that the right word? I guess, dreams um, frequently, because that's just natural kind of human nature to think of those things and dream of those things, both men and women. So look out for that. You know, when you're when you're having a sexual experience with a random person in your dream, just, I think that should be enough for your brain to kind of click and say, okay, you know, something's up here. Um, and let's see, what else is another trigger of mine? Um, sounds. Sounds are usually triggers in my dreams. I don't hear sounds often, but when it's usually music in particular, when I hear a certain song or what I imagine a certain song to be in my dream and it sounds completely off or like morphed or just strange, um, then it instantly triggers something in my brain saying, wait a minute, that's not how the song sounds. And then my brain says, wait a minute, what am I doing here on stage with this random musician, listening to him play his song and stuff like that, or whatever. And then it just, that's how it is, you know, one trigger leads to another, finally leads to lucidity. So when it came to the whole smoking one, it's like, oh, you know, how did this, first it's like, oh, you know, my brain gets excited, then it's like, wait, how did this happen? And then it's like, something's off, and then it's like, okay, now I know. So it goes in stages, so look out for that. So, you know, try to kind of figure out the stages in which your dream, like when you have a dream journal, figure out what repeats in your dream, and then figure out how you could kind of analyze that scenario or that situation to lead you to those experiences, you know. Now, it's kind of rough, because even if you write in your dream journal, even if you analyze certain things in your dream journal, it doesn't mean your dreams are always the same. And you need something, you need to kind of be aware all the time when you're dreaming about dream signs. But just in your waking life, focus upon sounds, focus upon things that would be your triggers, you know? So, like, just in your waking life, realize that, oh, you know, I'm not intoxicated pretty much any time unless I choose to do so. You know, whereas in your dreams, when you start feeling that random intoxication, you could be like, oh, wait a minute, uh, this isn't like it is in reality, you know? So it's usually things that are kind of strange to me, you know? Like, to me, morphing hands and, you know, talking dogs and crap like that, to me, isn't strange. Because that's just how my mind works, you know? I could see a talking dog in my dream, and I'll start talking right back to him. Oh, yeah, you know, it was a great conversation, blah, blah, you know? Weird, I know, but that's just how it works for me. For me, it's like more of the kind of real things that throw me off, you know? Like I said, random intoxication, random sexual encounters, or random just noises, or songs, or anything. Even, you know, another common dream sign is people say that, oh, you know, I see this specific dream, I mean, this specific person in my dream all the time. Well, I always see different people in my dreams, and even if I see the same person in my dream over and over again, my brain kind of recognizes that as a person from reality, so it's kind of hard to decipher, because like I said, my mind is so strange that even if the dream character starts talking about you know, flying saucers and alien life on alien life in Walmart or Tesco, to me that would be completely normal. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that's cool, dude, because sometimes I do admit that I have these type of conversations with people in reality, so, you know, that's not strange to me at all. But yeah, anyway, I think that's it. You know, I just want to make a quick video, kind of my opinion on lucid dream triggers and how you guys should go about figuring them out, and realizing that there isn't any common lucid dream triggers, because what is common to somebody else is not common to me at all, and what is common to me is not common to somebody else. That's just how it is. Everybody's brain's different, everybody has different dreams and stuff like that. Let me see if I have anything more to add. Or like scenarios, sometimes certain scenarios, like when I dream that I'm in high school, and then I'm like, wait a minute, like this dread comes over me. That's the thing, you know, whether it's school or whatever. Um, there's a certain dread that arises in me in my dream. I'm like, fuck, school again? I'm like, oh shit. You know, like, because in my waking life, it's like, oh, you know, I'm free, you know, I don't have to worry about school anymore or whatever. So when I'm dreaming, this dread arises, like the dread I used to have when I used to go to school. So it's like, teachers, homework, uh, busyness, random crap that I have to learn. Like, no, not again, man, not again. So it's like, that kind of triggers something. It's like, hey, wait a minute. You know, I'm done with school already. I'm done with all this stuff. Like, what the hell? And then there you go. I realize one situation leads to another. It's like I realize that, wait a minute, I shouldn't be in school, whatever, and then something else will throw me off, like the sound of the teacher's voice, or the pencil that is just there, and then it's like, okay, now I realize that I'm dreaming, and then from there I could take it into lucidity, and then I could do whatever the hell I want. But you know, for beginner lucid dreamers, maintaining lucidity is tricky, because it's in the state of being half asleep, half awake, sort of. So But I had a recent lucid dream that I was lucid dreaming and I was having fun and doing my own thing, but then I started hearing sounds from reality. Like I started hearing, um, you know, people in the other room or whatever, and then it was kind of hard to focus on both at the same time. And also, I realize that I am dreaming, so it's like I'm like, I don't feel like sleeping anymore. So I just wake up, or like I said, random sounds or things from reality kind of draw me into reality, and then it's like, ah, crap, something, pulls me into that, whether it's a temperature changes or whatever. Like, it's very strange, but that's just what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, guys, I guess that's it. I might make more videos on things like this, but for now I just wanted to make a quick one addressing stuff like that. Alright, so take care.